It's time for our tech segment, and joining us now is technology reporter Paul Ndeho. Paul.
Thank you, Esther. This is a fascinating story about a Ugandan-American technopreneur, Emmanuel Opati. Who quit his job, a good-paying job at Johns Hopkins University, to launch Xpertcare, a telemedicine company based in Baltimore, Maryland. Welcome back to the Voice of America, Emmanuel.
Thank you. Glad to be back.
Well, it's interesting. The last time you were here, you were an intern, and now you come back wearing a different hat as a CEO.
That's correct. I was here as an intern doing what the interns do at Voice of America, so thank you for having me back.
Okay, great. Tell us a little bit about Xpertcare. What is it that you guys do?
Xpertcare is a telemedicine company that was founded by two doctors and myself, Dr. Gary Choi, who was a radiologist at Mass General, and Dr. Susan Huang, who was also a dermatologist at Harvard Medical School, and myself. So it is a platform that provides consultations to pediatric patients remotely.
So tell me more about providing that e-solutions remotely. What is that all about?
So what we do is simple. We've built a network of pediatric subspecialists, these really highly trained, highly experienced people who most of them are typically at academic medical centers, and most of the country doesn't have access to them. So using our platform, you can have access to these highly trained people without necessarily having to travel all the way to Johns Hopkins or to Mass General.
The first time I talked to you, told me that you had about 3. Now, from what I hear or what I've read, you say you have about over 60 people who have signed up to use your platform. Maybe explain more.
That's correct. So we had to build a network of actual doctors. So we started out with 3 doctors. Today we have 62 doctors in the network who are providing consultations. I'll give you an example. For child psychiatry, for example, in the Washington, D.C., Virginia area, it takes you about 6 months to get an appointment with a child psychiatrist. Also, to give you context, a city of Las Vegas has 2.5 million people. There is no single child psychiatrist in that city. So parents there have to travel. What we're doing is we have 3 child psychiatrists in our network, and we do consultations within 48 hours.
Interesting, 48 hours. So that means that it cuts off the wait time.
Correct. It cuts off the wait time because you don't have to travel, and you don't have to be scheduled, and you don't have to wait in the waiting room. One exciting product that we're launching next week is our direct-to-patient service, which means as a parent, if your kid is crying at 5 in the morning, and instead of you getting in your car and going to the traffic and going to the emergency room and waiting for 3 hours, using a platform, you can video chat in real time with a pediatrician.
I've been there. I've been in situations whereby I take my kid to a doctor and I have to wait for several hours. But in the era of technology, a lot of tech companies are struggling. How do you keep up?
Well, first you have to have the doctors, because we're in the medical field. You can't do, technology does not provide medication, right? So we had to build that. We've solved that problem. And then we have a secure, HIPAA-compliant platform that doctors use to communicate. And then thirdly, we have to let people know about this service.
Very briefly, how do you get funding? Or are you profitable yet?
So we got, like every company, you have to raise money. So we raised about $125,000 to start. We're not profitable yet. We're investing that money in building the network of doctors, because you need them, improving the platform, and 3, client acquisition activities.
Well, thank you so much, Emmanuel. Thank you for joining us today. Emmanuel Opati is the co-founder and CEO of Xpertcare, and that's today's Tech Report. Back to you, Esther.
Thank you, Paul. Thanks. Be sure to join Paul Ndeho each Wednesday for another tech segment right here on Africa 54. And that's our show for today. Be sure to watch Africa 54 on our website at voaafrica.com. From all of us here in Washington, have a great evening.